This is an organism that's been around for some time. We call it a superbug because typical traditional antibiotics don't work really well on these bacteria. They're really hard to kill. Part of the reason they become so hard to kill is because we try to kill them with antibiotics and they evolve.
It makes them stronger in a way.
They become so smart that this particular organism actually releases an enzyme that inactivates the antibiotic. It's got its own defense mechanism. So these are very smart bugs. But they've been around for some time. In fact, the idea of scopes being linked to this has also been around for some time. We're hearing about this because of what's happened at UCLA. But doctors, people who've been dealing with antibiotic resistance have been thinking about this for, several years now.
But explain this. Are scopes spreading it?
Well, in a sort of unconventional sense, this organism can live in certain parts of our body totally fine. In our gut, not cause a problem at all. So scope goes in, does its job, also pulls a little bit of the bacteria out, goes to get cleaned, does not get cleaned properly. Next patient now has the scope put back in. At this point, it releases it into the body of the next patient. So it is spreading it, but it's not like it's spreading like measles or something.
So what
contagious.
have they known for a long time? That this procedure can do that, or that they're inadequately cleaned?
That the scopes seem to be a mode of transmission. They couldn't tell exactly what was going on. Was it the scopes being inadequately cleaned? Was there something else happening? Now they've sort of zeroed in on this, what they call this elevator mechanism, this little thing that toggles back and forth in the scope that is really hard to clean, apparently, and that's where they're sort of focusing their attention.
So wait, so the FDA knew about this, yet people have died.
The FDA has known for some time. They didn't know. There's various scope manufacturers out there. They were looking at least 3 different scope manufacturers to figure out, what was it about these scopes that seemed to be causing the problem. Now, keep in mind, this procedure is done some 500,000 times a year.
That's pretty routine, right?
Yeah, it's routine in that regard, and these were relatively small numbers, so it was hard to sort of pinpoint what was happening, and they're still not 100% sure, but I visited some of these people where they were actually cleaning the scopes, and it was amazing to me, Mick, because they were actually cleaning the scope, a $30,000 scope, and then using a 99-cent toothbrush, literally, to get behind the scope. We have some of the video of that, but literally that's what they're being told to do anything to sort of get into these crevasses and get that bacteria out of there.